What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Take a Time Out. This is episode number 33. 33 of them. You know who's 33, man. Quit playing with them. Y'all know who number 33 is, right?
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
He's not the Birdman, but he is
Who's
the
33?
Birdman.
He is the Bird. It's Larry Bird, man.
Okay, okay.
Larry Bird. Larry
I was
Legend.
thinking Birdman like the Miami Heat dude.
That's why I said he's not.
Tattoos.
He's
Yeah,
not
but
the
he's saying he's
Birdman.
not Birdman, but he should be.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about the dude who walked in. I don't know if y'all ever heard this story, but real quick. He walked in. You know, they had the 3-point contest back in the day, and he walked in the locker room and he said, "Which one of you mother effers is coming in second?"
Really? Okay.
That's tough.
So Larry Bird.
That is tough.
He's been.
And then came out in a warm-up shoot and shot.
I think he was the
fair.
I know back in those 60s, 70s, a lot of white people, but he set the white boy like swagger, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the 80s.
Yeah.
He was hooping on the plumbers.
No, this is his era was actually good. All right, burning questions, man. We got some burning questions for man. It's been a crazy 2 weeks of basketball. It really has. Well, I guess it's been a week since we've been on, but my first question is: we've had a lot of talk about this team, man. Through all the episodes so far, we've had a lot of talk about this team. But should the Clippers be moved up to contenders in our list, following their recent hot streak?
I think 100% yes. And hear me out. Okay, so when the Clippers first made the trade, we all know, myself, you guys, analytics, sports people all around the world, were like, the Clippers made the worst trade ever. Like, you just made your team detrimental for the rest of the year. And it looked like that on paper when you start 1-8. But in the last couple weeks, like we've been talking about, I think they're like 13-2 or something, or something like that in the last 15
I
games.
think
or something.
they're 8 straight. They won 8 straight.
Yeah, like they're like seriously cooking. And James Harden, he's coming into his, I'm not saying prime by any means, but he's coming into that offense looking really good as a starter. Russell coming off the bench is working really good for them as well. They kind of found their offensive role, which I think they were really struggling with, and they still have decent defense to put up with that. So I 100% think that they're contenders with how much talent's on that team. So I don't see how they're not.
No, I think if we remade the list right now, they're contenders
Mm-hmm.
because the key thing to that win streak, I think personally, was inserting Terrence Mann into the starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
What that brought just unlocked so many things defensively. Terrence Mann is everything we wish like Ben Simmons would be, a point forward kind of player. Just like this team don't have enough point forwards, but like man, the different schemes that they bring night in and night out. It could be James Harden, like we seen the other night, where it's just him. It's just him being the MVP Harden for a
Mhm.
game. I mean, he's old, so it's not going to happen every day. But him just doing that for a game, Kawhi, just like any night, anybody can give it to you, man. And I know it's like that on a couple teams, but this one in particular with their defense, when James Harden plays defense like he did the other night, good luck, man. Like that was a locked in Harden. So yeah, they're definitely contenders for me.
Yeah, I don't think I can argue with you guys. We were definitely down on the trade when it happened because I mean they didn't have an identity when they first started playing. Like
Mhm.
they just had no flow to the offense. It was kind of just like whoever takes over just takes over. But now, like you said, like they've kind of found their overall rhythm with everything, and just when you have those high caliber of like NBA players on the same team, like, and they start clicking together, like that is scary. It really is scary because they could go bucket for bucket for with any team, and they're like, I don't know where all the defensive rankings are right now, but like they have the potential to be
Yeah,
Top
right
5
up
for
there
sure.
at the top. Yeah.
100%.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even just with the players on the team, if you look at accolades, I mean, you got 2 MVPs, prior MVPs, multiple first teamers. Actually, they're all first team, right? Every single one of them is
Yeah,
Has
one
been
first
for
team.
That has
Yeah.
been for first
I
team,
mean,
yeah.
and then you got like even defensively with Kawhi. You have championship winners with Kawhi. Like this team is definitely contenders. So.
Even Zubac has been playing.
and
really
even yeah,
good.
him as a center, he's an underrated center. I really think.
And he's still pretty young.
He
too.
fits that flow. And he's still a good defensive center. I mean, this whole team has this, like you said, Nate, identity now.
Yeah.
Because they
That's-
didn't have that at the beginning.
And I overthought it, man. I mean, every year they might flame out in the playoffs. They always have a good run, but Ty Lue figures it out, man. He
Yeah.
really does, especially in the playoffs when it comes to rotations. When you talk about I need 8 guys, he figures out which 8 is the best, and he plays with them, man. That's what he does. Ty Lue, great coach, man. All right, man, next question. Jazz are reportedly willing to trade key players. So in my eyes, that would be Jordan Clarkson and Lauri Markkanen. If you got any names, teams they should go to, names that are involved in the trade, anything you've pondered about when I brought up this question, shoot it now. I'll go first. To me, Lauri Markkanen is everything that Kevin Love was when he was in his career. And who has Kevin Love right now? Miami Heat. I think this would be a great fit for the Miami Heat, man. Bringing in that stretch big beside Bam would just unlock a lot of things. Sometimes I'm dreaming at night of a Bam and Lauri pick and roll, man. How fun would that be,
That would
dude?
be
Like
fun.
that would be crazy because Lauri can dribble, man. He shows it night in and night out. He's versatile. Like what a better trade, I think, for the Miami Heat to like solidify themselves as like, no, they're still here. So that's one for me.
I agree. Honestly, with a player like Lauri Markkanen's skill set, this is a desirable player from any contending team in the league.
For sure.
I mean, you're asking for a 20 to 25 point per night scorer. Like you said, stretch big, 7 foot, can shoot the ball. And he really came into himself when he came onto this Jazz team. So with that being said, my two favorite teams, I'm just going to say, or I think it could be realistic and where he would fit. I'm going to say first one I'm going to say is OKC. OKC's at the top of their conference or right up there with the rest of the contending teams. They're really scary both sides of the ball. And I think adding someone where they have a little bit of weakness, which is in their power forward spot for OKC, with how much assets and stock of draft capital, it's their turn to use it. Like, this is what teams do, is when they have their core, they're ready to contend, this is what they do. They sell and get the final piece, and I think Lauri fits them really well. Outside of that team, though, I also like maybe even the Kings possibly making a move. The Kings don't have, like, a great power forward. I guess you can say Keegan Murray, but he could also play the 3.
Yep.
I think adding him to this offense would also give it another scoring boost. And they have the assets to do it as well. So, I don't know. Those are my two favorite teams.
Simply because NBA Twitter told me this, Jordan Clarkson is a Laker, soon-to-be Laker. So there's
Really?
that for you.
That's interesting. That's sure.
I don't know if that'll happen, but
Yeah.
that's what NBA Twitter is saying.
He was linked to the Celtics, the Lakers, and I forget the other team. But Celtics and Lakers are really pursuing a guy like Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, Clarkson I see is more of like he could definitely be a shooting guard starter, but any contending team would love to have him like as a 6-man.
Spark
Like,
plug,
I mean,
man.
that boy comes in, he's a spark for sure.
And then for Lauri Markkanen, I mean, like, I don't know how this will work out, but I'd like to see a team like the Mavs go and get him because outside of Luka dropping 40 points a game, like, that's all that they have right now. It seems like.
Yeah, with Lively being hurt, it's tough.
Yeah, it's just like Luka almost has to put up 50 points for them to like stay in the game.
Yeah.
Dude, but speaking of Luka recently, if we're talking about the last 2 weeks who's been hooping, I
Mhm.
think Luka got my MVP. Like, that boy is dropping absurd numbers. Like, I don't even like, honestly, like, he's a second in odds for the MVP. It was like a plus 450 right now, and honestly, I would take him. Like, the way he's been playing this year, like, I know Luka can score the ball, but he's putting up like triple-double every game almost.
I think he just understands the game.
He is such a smart
basketball.
basketball. Even he's not like, you can look at Luka. He's not even like super athletic. He's just he's definitely athletic, but not like crazy compared to these other athletes. He's just the way he can score. It's literally Luka magic. I don't know.
Kevin O'Connor, I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he works for the Ringer, very known in the NBA world. He did a study on shots around the rim for Luka, and every year his went up. But the shocking thing is he's far ahead of other players, and he's not athletic. He doesn't dunk, and he's just a finisher, man. Him and Shea are in the same boat where they just finish no matter what. So, yeah, that's my twin, actually. I don't know if y'all think, but I kind of look like Luka a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of like him and Lauri mix, actually, kind of a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I always say that to my wife, but she ain't going. All right, man.
No, you look like Mason Plumlee, to be honest.
No, she who she used to say I look like, and this is gonna be bad because he got
Plumlee.
canceled. She used to say I look like Myers Leonard.
No, I can see that.
Why
Yeah, I can
did
see
he
that.
get canceled?
Because he said some
He said, "Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about it."
racist Asian
Yeah.
stuff on stream.
Oh, I think I do remember.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I think
He's
I
been
remember.
blacklisted from the league since.
Yeah, he was on the league team last year. But all right, next question: should the Cavs reevaluate their team after the injuries to two stars like Darius Garland and Evan Mobley? Should they try to shop Donovan Mitchell
Mm,
and think about just their timeline in general?
yeah. So this is a question that's been a debate since Donovan has been in Cleveland. It's kind of how he fit in within the Cavs timeline. So obviously the Cavs are still a young team with I think star-studded Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. Like you said, they're injured for a couple weeks, both actually. I think Evan Mobley's looking like 6 to 8 weeks, and Garland's at least a good month or so. I've thought about this question so much because I love Donovan Mitchell as a player. But the question it really comes down to is he has this year and next year on his contract, and will he resign? And the only time you're really going to get the amount of assets you paid for Donovan Mitchell back would be right now, this year, because next year he's on an expiring contract and you're not getting that back. So where I seen the Cavs, we all took them at the beginning of the year. Their wins were like 50.5 or something, and we took their over. It's not going to hit. So what I'm really thinking as the Cavs, like I love Donovan Mitchell, but I'm not opposed to trading him to fit the Cavs timeline to let these younger players like Garland and Evan Mobley become the star of this, like the franchise players of this team. They're both young. And the one thing I think about Donovan Mitchell is he's a great scorer, but he also does not fit the Cavs, I guess, the way they thought they were going to play together. I don't know how to explain it. Like Garland and Mitchell both play better when one of each other is out, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
No, it completely makes sense.
Yeah.
Look back at Dame and CJ, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of that scenario. So it's like I would love to see Darius Garland kind of develop into the franchise of this team. He literally can do that. I think he has the ability to be not the same player, but like a little mini Curry, if that makes sense. Just being able to space the floor, and he can really run the ball. And Evan Mobley's every dream power forward you can ask for. So I'm not opposed to traded Donovan Mitchell, but then it comes to the question, there's a lot of teams want him, but where would he go? And I think either the Knicks, the Nets, or would he even go back to home to the Jazz? I don't know.
So I had to look it up while you were giving your analysis, and they traded. If you think about this, they traded 3 first-rounders for him. Plus, it was like Lauri Markkanen.
Mm-hmm.
I think was Jordan Clarkson part of that deal as well.
Colin Sexton.
Colin Sexton, yep. But just they gave away young assets and future draft capital. Unless you're getting that back in return, like that's a waste.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like you spent all of that to acquire him because you want to make him the face of your franchise. And like just from a team building aspect, like that's just poor decision if you're trying to shop him or not even try to build around him. Like this is your guy. You can't let him go.
I disagree. I think Lauri Markkanen would have never turned out into what he is on the Cavs.
I agree.
Colin Sexton has no room. If you think Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland didn't work out, imagine what it looked like with Colin Sexton. And those picks have not turned into anything special so far. My point is that the Cavs are not a desirable destination. We all know that. We live in Ohio. Going out and getting a guy like Donovan Mitchell and trying it is more than half the battle when it comes to teams like the Bulls who don't try anything. Or just name your favorite team that doesn't do anything every year. And when you're the Cavs and you have the opportunity to go out and get Mitchell for, honestly, kind of a discounted price if you really think about it for what they gave up. In my opinion, it was well worth it. And like Kyler was talking about, this is your chance to flip into an asset because I think all three of us right here would be surprised if Donovan Mitchell was a Cav next year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just him and Garland together as a tandem. Small guards usually don't work, man. Halliburton and Fox got split up, and look how both their careers are ascending. Like, it's the same type of thing. Both these guys will continue to ascend, whether they play together or not. And let's see, Evan Mobley's development. We'll see how it goes. At worst, he is an all-defensive team player every single game. So let's see how it goes, man. But yeah, I'm on team flip Mitchell while you can.
I mean, if they flip him for a player, like an established player that is going to help the Cavs win,
I've already
Okay.
thought of a couple hypothetical trades. If
then
you guys
maybe.
are
But like,
curious.
I don't know.
Cam Johnson.
So yeah, I have one for the Nets. I actually have one for the Knicks too, because I think we all know that Donovan Mitchell's been wanting to become a Knick for however long. He's said it himself.
Don't let the word RJ Barrett come.
Now I'm not gonna say the word. I'm not gonna say the word that he's talked about it, but I think a lot of people know that Mitchell probably won't be a Cav in the next 2 years. So if we're gonna flip for my assets, it's gonna be this year while our team's hurt and time to kind of build for the future. Hypothetically, this is going to the Nets, who could be definitely a playoff team and have the assets to move. And if I were to trade with the Nets, I'm taking Cam Johnson, I'm taking Cam Thomas, and then I'm taking 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
And now, would you got me crazy, or is that a very fair trade for Donovan Mitchell?
Throw Ben Simmons in there.
I'll take it. Take his expiring contract. It's only this year, right? Give me Ben Simmons as well.
That sounds like I don't know. That
But look,
sounds
and then
kinda
you-
like
and then
a
this is kinda
fleece
what-
for the Cavs.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but then you got McCall and Donovan Mitchell.
But if you're the Nets, you're banking on Donovan Mitchell wants to be in New York, no
Mhm.
matter the cost, and he's going to sign with us.
yeah,
So it'll be one of them things where you get we've seen how it went with Daryl Morey and James Harden, but you get one of these things where it's like, hey, buddy, like, we'll sign you if you stay. We'll make this trade.
yeah, but this is like kind of like what I mean a little bit when like a trade like that is made. It gives the Nets their 2 franchise players. They can just build next year to put a team around them, and then like you said, hopefully Mitchell resigns, and then they might actually have a contending playoff team. But for the Cavs, this is what I like about that trade. And this could be with any team they do make a trade, but the reason is like, okay, now you flip Mitchell, but now you're getting assets to put around Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. So I like Cam Thomas off the bench as a 6th man. I think every good team has a 6th man that can come in and score, like Malik Monk kind of
Yeah.
thing. I think Cam Thomas, he's a great scorer. We've seen him drop 40 multiple times. He's a great bench, 20 to 25-minute come off the bench and make a spark for our other squad. But what I mean by this is like just adding to like the Cavs' future. Like now you have Darius Garland, Cam Thomas, which is a great 3-point defensive wing, which I think is like our biggest need for the Cavs. Then you have someone like Max Struss, Evan Mobley, and then kind of see what you do with Jared Allen there. But then that's like a new type of scheme that you can try things out with. And I think that's what the Cavs are really kind of struggling to find right now is like their identity, because I don't think they really have one, to be honest, after watching them.
Mm-hmm. What's your other trade?
Oh, for the Knicks one? Oh, this one you're gonna hate it. 'cause-
Julius Randle.
Oh heck no,
No,
I
it's
don't
not.
want. I ain't want no damn Randall. on my
Nobody
team.
want that.
But
want
if I was to
Julius
trade
Randle
with the
on my team.
Knicks, I'm dang near asking a little bit more because I don't know how these players would fit. But I'm asking for RJ Barrett, and I know you don't like that, but we need a wing. He's a scoring wing, so give me RJ Barrett. But then I also want Quentin Grimes, Dante DiVincenzo,
DiVincenzo, yeah.
and then I also want 3 first-round picks as well.
Okay, you're trying to fleece everybody. It's cool though.
Or you
It's
can
your
keep
team.
Quentin Grimes and just give me Dante. You can have everyone else.
You're probably not getting DiVincenzo.
You might have
bro.
to download 2K again. and put these in
DiVincenzo,
a-
he's really
2K
underrated.
sim-
If you're
simulator.
trading RJ Barrett, like why do you think I don't want? You don't think I like RJ Barrett? I love
You think
RJ
you
Barrett.
love RJ? Okay.
I love RJ Barrett.
Okay, I'm just saying he hasn't really fit too much in the Knicks.
Yeah, because of Julius.
I agree, but who are they gonna want to keep a little bit more?
RJ, if they're
But
smart.
if you're going to get Donovan Mitchell, you know the Knicks have been wanting Mitchell, and they've been looking to make a trade.
Bro, Mitchell and would hate playing with Randall, bro. He would get there. He would go from 2 bigs who just post play to a dude doing step back threes, dribbling out 50% of the shot clock.
Oh,
I mean, should I go on more, bro? Like, nobody wants to play with Julius Randle right now, and that's the problem with the
And
Knicks.
you're-
Like you guys said it
you're
the other
right.
day in the in-season tournament, we had him as a loser. You're not showing on paper that anybody wants to play with you
Yeah,
because of how you play.
yeah.
It might win some games, but it ain't going to take you over the top.
I
That's
agree.
what players are looking for. So, yeah, real quick, like, out of that thing, if I'm Donovan Mitchell, I want to go to the Nets. I really do.
I do.
Like, I don't know. All right, man, our last question. We'll let Nate start with this one. Should the Thunder sit on what they have, which is a pretty good team, or should they look to add another piece?
No, I'm gonna expand on what Kyler said earlier. You are I don't know if you'd say that they're necessarily overachieving. I feel like they kind of are, especially since we didn't expect Shet to be as good as he is this season. But there's a reason why Shea's still in the MVP conversation right now. But this is your time right now. You have a team that easily can compete with any of the teams in the West. Like we said, this is the most wide open league, has been in quite a while. Um, it's like Kylie said, it is your time right now to spend the extra draft assets that you have because they're stockpiled for the next couple of years. Like, go target whether it's just some more like high quality bench players coming off, but you need to get another established starter. I think that could.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would take them over the top, and we would be talking about them as like top of the crop like contenders.
Yeah.
Yeah. He brought up the Lord Marketing trade. Say that doesn't happen, man. I'm looking at like
Because Siakam.
a Siakam
Yeah.
would be nice, but I'm thinking even lower than that, man. Like go get because their power forward position is really lacking with the other Jalen Williams. Go get like a Kelly Olynyk from the Jazz, like a dude who puts up, he's played a lot of like a lot of playoff basketball, has a lot of experience, another vet for the team, stuff like that. Go get the Alex Caruso, like flip some of these young assets and the amount of picks that you have, my lord. I mean, just flip it and get even if it's not the home run swing, we see it, man. That these little players, like look at the Nuggets, man, Reggie Jackson, and all these little
Yeah.
moves lead to championships. They really do.
And they pay like you'll see their impact the most in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like once you get in the postseason, like having depth and like quality depth, that is the difference between the team going to the championship, winning the championship, and losing in the first round.
Yeah.
But even with like this Thunder's team, like you don't want to keep those picks because every first round pick comes with a price tag too. So I don't know. You have all these picks and all these young assets. You have the chance to go get like a really good player.
Yeah.
So look at teams that are kind of shopping right now. Like we know the Raptors are shopping. Even though they're kind of hard to trade with, they are shopping.
The Bulls,
Bulls are shopping.
you could probably
we got
even
the
get,
Jazz
like,
shopping now.
DeMar DeRozan or someone.
Damn,
like
you can
that.
even got the Pistons shopping. Like you have those teams. All
Mhm.
those teams have power forwards too. I mean,
And Bogdan.
yeah, and yeah, he's great too for a shooter. Like you have the ability to go out and get like a really solid player for not a really expensive cost to your team. And it doesn't even hurt your future. What you miss out on this year's pick, okay, good. Now I have 4 first round picks next year with my good player. Go experiment with this like assets before you actually have to start paying your draft picks like their money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. It just makes total sense why they would do that.
All right, man. The last segment I have for us is the Christmas games, man. Every year, as long as well as seeing family, giving gifts, and Christmas is special. Merry Christmas to all y'all. But NBA basketball on Christmas is extra special, man. I love it. Nothing better, man. Bucks are at the Knicks for the first game, starting at 12. Milwaukee's favored by 2.5. Yeah, we're just gonna do a pick 'em for these games. And if you want to go in depth at all, you can. I'm gonna go with the Bucks this game. I think it is a matchup problem for the Knicks. Mitchell Robinson is kind of like blocked out of what he does best when it comes to Milwaukee, and I think you see, like I talked about earlier, them leaving Julius Randle open a lot. I really do, and let Jalen Brunson, be double teamed a lot. So give me the Bucks in this matchup.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are coming into their true form. Damian Lillard's really starting to kick it into gear as a recent. So I don't know. This Bucks team, they're also gonna be a sleeper team that go make some moves before the trade deadline to beef some defense up. But at least for this Christmas game, I like the Bucks against the Knicks. Like you said, it kind of limits Mitchell's rebounding, and he's not gonna be the type of player he wants to be during this game. And that pick and roll from Damian Lillard and Giannis is still one of the hardest names, probably one of the hardest names to guard in the whole entire league. So I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, give me the Bucks. They're just a better team.
Yeah.
Simple put.
Warriors are at the Nuggets. Yeah,
This is
man.
no brainer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Nuggets, man.
As of right now, I mean, we all know what's going on. We didn't talk about it too much on this podcast, but Warriors in a lot of shambles right now.
Big
Outside of
shambles.
Curry, not a lot going on there on either side of the ball. But the Nuggets, they still look like a really good team. If Jokic doesn't get ejected, they're gonna win this game. So I'm gonna take the Nuggets.
Yeah.
This Warriors team without Draymond, it's just they just don't have a defensive identity. They just don't.
Yeah, it's
Um,
sad.
And with how well the Nuggets play defense, like this, honestly, I would hate to see it on Christmas Day because like this could be a very good game, but like I think this has blowout potential for the Nuggets.
Yeah, and Doc Rivers said it best. He's been great as an announcer. I don't know if you guys have checked him out. He's been great as an announcer, being really in depth. Draymond had, outside of the antics, been probably playing some of the best basketball of his career. Just everything he's doing is amazing on the floor, except with the antics, man. And it sucks because they're messing him right now, man. All right, but this is the one, man. This is the
game.
one.
I'm
This
excited
is
for it.
this is
This
the
one's
game
gonna come on like what 3 p.m. prime
5.
Christmas.
This is
5
the
p.m.?
game.
Yo.
Sit down,
of the night.
get your Christmas dinner. I'm dining and dashing, Grandma, at our Christmas. Sorry, I gotta go watch this. Celtics are at the Lakers, man. At the Lakers, not at the Garden. We're at the Lakers, man. You know where I'm going with this, man. I'm going Boston. Man, I mean, it's all part of it, man. But like, I talk to people, and everybody's just like Celtics, same thing every year. Celtics, same thing. Remember that could do it on TikTok. Like they get this motion in their head of what Jaylen Brown is, and what people don't appreciate that we are 20-5 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, go check the standings, man. Go check our resume. Like, quit playing with us, man. I mean, we're good. The Lakers have a worse record. They're good, too. Like, this is going to be a great game. But I just think what we throw defensively at AD with Al Horford and, like, all the different things that is ingrained in what we do, it's going to be tough. So, give me Celtics.
I will say, yeah, I think this is gonna be out of all the Christmas games, definitely the one to watch. Man, I don't know. Both these teams on my charts are like rated right there at the top of the best teams in the league. The Lakers are a really good defensive team. Celtics are a good both team. It's kind of hard to pick who I would like to win because I like the Lakers. I don't necessarily like the Celtics, but I like their team. With that being said, I'm thinking like I honestly think AD might do okay this game. I think he'll be pretty decent inside the paint, but what I'm really worried about is kind of like the Lakers' scoring ability against this team. I think the Celtics can score at will, so I'm gonna take the Celtics here. But I wouldn't even take this spread because I can see this coming down to like literally the very end of the game.
I'm also gonna go Boston here. I agree with you. I think that this game will be very close. Like this will probably come down to the last 1 or 2 baskets of the game. But just Celtics overall are probably the most just well-built team. They have an identity to where like game to game you see someone like Derek White that can go for 20 to 25 points. Like Jaylen Brown can go for 30 points. And then while Tatum takes a back seat and they're still blowing teams out.
Yeah.
It's just they are just playing the most I don't know, just the best team basketball out of probably the entire league right now.
Well,
It's
yeah.
hard to fade that.
To sum it up in one sentence, all 5 of our starters are in all-star voting right now.
Yeah,
So,
that's crazy. I
That
didn't
shows
even
everything.
know
What thing I
that.
really like about this matchup is not even just like the starters, but it even comes down to the bench of both of these teams. Like both of these teams have a good bench. Like there's gonna be it's gonna be a really good game from start to finish because there's gonna be a lot of subs that come in and like you said, like there's random players like Peyton Pritchard come in and drop 15 points.
Right.
Like he can snipe, and it just really depends on how this game's gonna go. But man, we can't be more excited.
it's going to
for a
be who
Christmas
makes the
game.
most threes. That's what the NBA is.
Yeah.
But you can boil it down to more than that, man, how fun this is going to be. This one, this might be my least favorite game. Just 76ers are at the Heat. Heat are favored by -1.5.
That's interesting.
Is Bam back?
Yeah.
He is back.
Well, they're accounting for him being back for Christmas.
Okay, that's probably why.
So,
Even then,
yeah.
Even then, I'm gonna start it. I like Bam defensively; he's really good inside the paint. But with players like Joel Embiid can score from anywhere. I don't like the Heat's matchup too much defensively against the point guard. So I think Maxey might have a little decent game, but I don't know. The one thing I don't like about the Heat is like they don't care about the regular season game, but they show up on the games that matter, and this is a game that matters.
Because all eyes are on them.
Yeah, so I don't know. I could honestly see this be a sneaky game. I don't know why the Heat are favored, but I'm going to take the 76ers, but just me personally because I like their team a little bit better. But the Heat could make this game a little bit competitive, especially if Bam is back on this day.
Yeah, getting the 76ers, I mean, I think it's, I don't remember the number. I want to say it's 13 straight 30-point games for Embiid.
How much? 13 straight, 30?
I'm pretty sure it's 13.
Yeah.
Somebody can fact check me, but
Is he the like number one in MVP voting right now?
No, Luka is.
Luka is?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I haven't looked in a little bit.
it's got to be one of them too, though.
You got.
That dang. The more I thought about this, I'm just gonna go with the 76ers.
Yeah.
Because the more I keep thinking about it, I'm talking myself into the Heat. But we'll just go with my first thought, 76ers.
Go what you got. All right, this is a good one. Mavs are at the Suns. Man, you know how this goes, man. Devin Booker versus Luka, two feisty dudes, man. Yeah, by the end of this, somebody's gonna be yelling, man.
There might be an ejection.
Yeah,
Who knows?
For sure.
Luka, do y'all remember the Luka and Booker clip of I think Booker smacking the ball out of like Luka's hands or something,
Oh yeah,
and then Luka looking back and saying some stuff.
yeah.
So they only talk while they're up, and then he came back and busted him. So
Yeah.
with that being said, it's going to happen again. Luka loves these type of games, and I could see a triple-double, 40, 50-point game from Luka. Damn, I don't know. That's the type of game Mavs win, though. I'm going to take the Mavs here. As much as I like the Suns and their team, they're very good, not discrediting anything. I just like the Mavs just because they are that feisty team. And if Kyrie's back playing this game, I think
That's
they'll be
the
all right.
key factor.
Because I think
That's
Kyrie,
the key.
I
Kyrie
think Lively's the key factor.
yeah, he is definitely the key factor. But I don't know. We'll see. I think Kyrie will play good against the Suns teams. They're not very strong defensively against point guards.
Yeah, I think if Lively plays, they win, man. Just the rim protection that dude brings. I know he's just a rookie, but give me the Suns.
Yeah, the difference between Lively and their backup center, or their backup center, I should say, like night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day. You know, like the Suns should win this game, but give me the Mavs. Luka just simply put owns Devin Booker.
Yeah, he does.
So
You know one thing I know we're way past it, but before we end, did you hear what the price tag for Markkanen's trade was? Like from reports, they're asking like 4 or 5 first-round picks.
I don't believe it, bro. How many times are we gonna talk about Danny Ainge?
It's
You don't play
because
with that dude.
It's because of Rudy Gobert's trade. He set the tone for trades moving forward.
But who did the trade?
I mean,
Danny
it was
Ainge.
him.
Danny Ainge don't
He
play
just set the
around.
market.
He sets the market for everything. You know what he got for old KG and Paul Pierce?
Yeah, I need to
probably the biggest fleece of
We have Jason
Yeah,
Tatum
history.
because of
Yeah.
that, bro.
And Jalen Brown.
This is years on counting, bro.
Mhm.
That our whole franchise is based off of that trade, bro.
yeah,
He's him.
he is him.
Love you, Danny.
Real
Ainge.
quick though. Let's say hypothetically the Jazz trade away both those players that we're talking about.
Yeah.
What do they do? They're just bad for the
They're
next.
just loaded with draft
But
capital.
like I know, but like what are you gonna do with that? Like obviously you're gonna draft
They're gonna lose
younger
out.
players, but like are you just gonna do the same thing over again?
No, they'll probably lose out, find their one or two studs, and then build from there. I mean, you
Yeah.
have 8 picks per draft to figure it out.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it is
Yeah, bro.
something
And
like
Danny
that.
drafts well, man. Like we
So-
said, he had the number 1 pick, had Markel Fultz sitting in the bag. Everybody thought, nope, flips it for Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the best player in the draft. Stuff like that. Takes Jaylen Brown with the 3rd pick. The kid with the goofy hair out of UCL, out of Southern California, Cal University. Like nobody thought Jaylen Brown was gonna be that good, except Danny Ainge. That's my Danny Ainge pitch, man.
Yeah,
Brad Stevens, you're good too, though. I
that
love you.
made me a Jazz fan with all that speak.
Yeah, he's him. But all right, man. Merry Christmas to all, man.
Merry Christmas.
Have a good one, man. Enjoy it and enjoy this episode, man. It was real, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.